Good day. My name is Katliho Mkima, and this is my English lesson plan for JLZ 300's exam equivalent. This presentation will cover the subject English First Additional Language, by specifically looking at grade 8s in senior phase under the topic Reading and Vocab Development 3 Storytelling. Now, a deep dive into all about my lesson. This lesson will focus on the listening and speaking skills, as well as listening for understanding and appreciating stories. In doing so, learners will discuss a book's title, cover, and predict and learn new vocabulary collaboratively. This is relevant to JLZ 300 because it is so deeply relevant because it helps teachers with instructional communicational skills such as how to use their voice, clarity, questioning, and interaction in order to engage with other learners. It also highlights creating a fair classroom environment where communication supports inclusivity, creative thinking, and participation. Instructional communication within my classroom. Instructional communication is defined as the exchange of messages of teaching and learning between a teacher and their learners. In this lesson, communication happens through guided classroom discussions, quiz, and feedback. The teacher acts as the sender by sharing content, and learners are the receivers, and feedback happens through a response in which peers discuss. My teaching approach applies to JLZ principles by focusing on clarity, questioning, and encouragement through the teacher's urgency. These strategies make sure that teachers are not just passive learners, but actively participate in finding meaning in the story. Using a clear and audible voice and tone reflects the vocal hygiene. Using different pitches, tones, and volume keeps learners engaged and helps them understand. By projecting my voice, I'd avoid calls while maintaining the classroom's attention. The Butterfly Lion by Michael Mopolo is a novel that uses rich but understandable language. To support the learner's listening and pronunciation skills, I would use the correct voice by speaking slowly, clearly, and by varying my tone and emphasis, especially when introducing unfamiliar words. Using a mix of open and closed-ended questions to stimulate both comprehension and critical thinking are one of the ways I can use questioning and feedback. Feedback is immediate and encourages learners to justify their predictions and interpretations. This approach supports both instructional communication and the learner's confidence. This is quoted from Sinclair and Courtwood. Questions like, why do you think the author chose this title? What clues does this picture give? Engage the learners in reflective discussions, promoting creative and critical thinking and interactive communication. Through language simplifying and peer translation, my classroom communication supports multilingual students. To enhance understanding, I use non like gesture assistances. Promoting group discussions guarantees equal involvement across language and skill levels. By working together with vocabulary lists, students can show inclusivity and collaborative learning, while allowing more proficient English speakers to help them. To JLZ Unit 4, I see the classroom as a shared environment where empathy, cooperation, and respect are crucial. Students work together on discussion guidelines to guarantee that all options are heard and opinions are heard. This encourages shared responsibility and eliminates an hierarchy from forming. We created a class rules poster before the activity which guidelines with guidelines like we will listen without interrupting, mirroring JLZ's rules, emphasizing on respect for one another and sharing accountability in communication. I do my class in an authoritative manner, and that is firm and friendly, but still has a bit of friendliness and warmth, but still enforcing discipline. For example, I'd use gentle redirection, like, let's hear a different point of view. Or when a student takes over a conversation which shows empathy and encourages inclusion rather than domination by a single student. Like multi-SMs, using storytelling, I would use technology which encourages instructional clarity and caters to visual learners. It also aligns with the JLZ instructor technology design communication module. So before reading the book's cover will be displayed on the projector, which will spark interest in my classroom. The importance of communication in teaching is important for two reasons. Firstly, learner participation, retention, and emotional safety are shaped by communication. Teacher-student connections and mutual respect are fostered by inclusive and transparent communication. Not everything that glitters is gold, as there are some anticipated challenges, such as overseeing multilingual classrooms and guaranteeing equal involvement, as well as maintaining a vocal health in a very noisy, packed classroom without straining your voice. The solution to all this is when required to amplify your voice, take short breaks, and use your diaphragmatic breathing. Lastly, to encourage the diversity use, translingual and peer assistance is assisted learning. And this is a beautifully drawn up lesson plan to help with the grade 8 English lesson that combines inclusive social interaction with the instruction communication concepts of JLZ 300. Thank you.